Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. It's Paris Blockchain Week, and Ripple's there, and we got it for you. That and so much more. John Deaton says he doesn't see how this case with the SEC, Ripple doesn't come out with an outright win. We got that and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter for exclusive content. Right now, $1.23 trillion market cap for crypto. It's up 0.5%. Good afternoon. 28,500 plus for Bitcoin, 1,800 plus for Ethereum. Tether market cap, 77.9 plus billion, they're saying here. XRP is 44 cents, and it is up 5.9% in the 24-hour. Rolling back a little bit now from the 50% mark we hit yesterday. Very exciting day. 28% up, now 19.3 on the 7-day. Let's get started right here. Now, I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be available, but Ripple is available right now on Link2's platform. If you want private equity, Link2 is the place to go. Click the link to my sponsor below, and you know AI is exploding. Don't act like you don't know it. I know it. You know it. Everybody tells me they love it. I love it too. Well, they have that available. Samba Nova, artificial intelligence, Cerebras, the technology game and where things are going and the opportunity to invest in the brick and mortar companies behind it all lie right here at Link2. Make sure you click the link and check it out and see if it's right for yourself. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. IRS intends to tax non-fungible tokens as collectibles and is soliciting public opinions on the proposal, according to government news release on Tuesday. Now, with that being said, the White House took massive aim at cryptocurrencies in a new report, arguing that many aspects of digital assets ecosystem are creating issues for consumers, the financial system, and the environment. And as you know, if you've been following over the last couple weeks here, the government is also pointing towards the bank failures as crypto's fault when we know that there's been a liquidity crisis since before the pandemic in 2020. This is Congressman Tom Emmer talking about the importance of the Anti-Surveillance Act, which is what he submitted here about the CBDCs being under direct control of the U.S. government or the Fed, rather, and how it should not take place. And he's right. I agree. But I haven't seen the right side of the aisle do anything other than create talking points for news stations and Twitter. We'll see what happens. Republican Senator Ted Cruz does much the same thing and stands up from the Senate side of things and says, you know what? Yeah, this is wrong. And the United States Federal Reserve should be blocked from actually launching a direct-to-consumer central bank digital currency. I agree, but someone's got to actually make sure it doesn't happen. But you know what? Let's change gears a little bit and look at some positive, fun stuff. I tell you right now, Paris Blockchain, Marcus Enfanger, the vice president of RippleX Development, is talking about what's going on out here with the XRP ledger, and you're going to love it. And we got Monica Long coming up next, and Cindy Young as well. Don't go anywhere. Check it out.
Then there's the XRP ledger, which is one of the oldest and most battle-tested crypto protocol. It's open source. It's powered by a community of global developers. There's 35 unique validators that help validate transactions, secure the system, and Ripple only operates one. There were a few more, and so over time we reduced those, and now we're only operating one. So it's an open source blockchain. It's one of the oldest blockchains. It was built originally for payments, and really has been battle tested around features of security. It's got a lot of native built features and so forth. And then there's XRP, which is the native digital asset on the blockchain, and what people often hear as well is RippleNet. And so RippleNet is a blockchain-inspired payment network that Ripple launched a couple of years ago, found product market fit, working with institutions, settling cross-border payments in an instant, using a crypto asset in the form of XRP as a bridge currency across distance.
There you have it. Marcus and Fanger setting the record straight there, as we all know. But this is a great clip here. Shout out to DAI for this one. Monica Long, the president of Ripple right now, discussing what's going on in the future. Take a listen to this.
So even preceding the SEC's case against Ripple, most of the network activity, customer traction, et cetera, had been taking place outside of the U.S. I think that was also just an indication of where financial institutions felt that there was greater certainty from their regulators. They were leaning in. And in the U.S., because it was very murky waters as we started the conversation, they were less keen to jump in. So in terms of, operating through this SEC case, we've put up our two biggest years of growth the past 2 years consecutively. So there's definitely increasing customer demand, and we're just continuing to grow the network outside the U.S.
So what are you most excited about going into the next 6 months, 12 months?
On the topic of the SEC case, we're at
just generally, not the
totally.
SEC specifically.
Well, I am, but
you are excited.
Well, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. So both Ripple and the SEC have filed our motions for summary judgment. So our hope, our belief is that we'll hear something from the judge this year. In that case, we're all a part of this industry. It has implications for really the whole industry. And so I know many of you are also waiting to hear the result of it. I'm looking forward to continuing to expand the network, bring on new customers, also thinking about, not just thinking about, but also expanding into new products. Last year we launched something called Liquidity Hub to serve a new need we were hearing from our customers to provide really easy crypto liquidity to their customers, being more end users. And then also, the XRP ledger. So we continue to be active contributors to the XRP ledger. As an example, we've worked on a new spec for an automated market maker. The decentralized exchange on the ledger is a central limit order book, and so this is adding new functionality to that decentralized exchange. And we continue to support developers through a number of programs.
Well, and that's not all. I want you to take a listen to this clip I've got lined up for you, where Monica Long takes it a step further and says, essentially, these financial institutions out here are going to have to adapt or die.
Is the appetite among different FIs, financial institutions, looking to send funds through the Ripple network, has that increased or decreased over the past year?
Interest in joining the network and adopting the network has only increased over time. It's really interesting to look backward. We started this journey of working with financial institutions in 2015, and we would walk into banks, and the original pitch was this idea of you can create an account on a public blockchain called XRP Ledger, and it has a built-in decentralized exchange. This would be a very efficient way for you to conduct cross-border payments, provide you a lot more transparency. This was right after the Mt. Gox collapse and Silk Road bust, and so you could guess that the banks generally slammed the doors in our faces. The timing was off, but since then, over the years, as crypto as a market has expanded a lot, there's been a much warmer embrace across the institutional world. And I would say the past couple of years have been a real tipping point for institutional DeFi, where you see even the biggest of banks embracing this technology as the future, and they have to adapt or die.
Can you dig into
that? Is remarkable right there. They have to adapt or die. And I think that's just such a straightforward understanding of just how powerful the technology we're talking about is going to disrupt the banking and financial system. I really do. Great job from Monica Long. And there's so much more that I want to play you, but I do want to give you this here from Cindy Young as well. So shout out to Monica for that incredible interview there. Let's take a listen to this clip.
Is it happening now? Sandy?
Sandy's like, give me the microphone. I'm going to tell you right now, it's happening now.
Yeah, absolutely. It is certainly happening now. I think the use case I think I want to focus on is moving value across borders, right? I think that is where we are seeing ability to leverage crypto and blockchain to move money faster, cheaper, in a more transparent way, in a way where you don't have to lock capital and can use it to grow your business as opposed to making that payments on the other side of the world at the right time. It delivers all of those benefits, right? 24/7, 365 days availability, real-time settlements, global liquidity pools around the world. And the reason I'm focusing on this one so much is, well, first and foremost, obviously, at Ripple, this is what we do day in and day out. But really, I think, three main reasons. One is absolutely, I agree, it is proven, right? We've way moved from hypothesis to pilots. This is a real proven use case today, and I know that because we have created a payments network called RippleNet, which today has hundreds of customers, processing over $15 billion of volume. And we've seen a usage of our cross-border, our crypto-powered payment solution, on-demand liquidity, on this network. Again, our customers, talk about the benefits of what I described day in and day out. Secondly is not only that, it is proven, but also there's the product market fit and the value proposition is so clear. There's a massive uptake of this, right? So despite we obviously talk about crypto winter and the ICE and market turmoil, all the fraud and various obviously challenges that not only crypto but the broader financial services obviously industry has had, and even beyond that. Despite all of that, last year we continued to see a massive growth in this cross-border payments network, particularly the growth of the on-demand liquidity crypto-powered solution. In fact, more than half of our network actually migrated to this more enhanced solution that uses XRP as a digital asset.
More than half the network migrated to on-demand liquidity.
A bridge to move money across because it solves these problems around cost, speed, efficiency, not having to lock up capital.
Now, just for a second, if I could, just think of the moment we're in with banks. Think about what Monica Long just told us about adapt or die. It's pretty remarkable, to be honest with you. Now, let's take a listen to this last little bit here.
And then thirdly, in terms of the questions, how can a business use? There are different ways, right? And there are two sort of prominent use cases that we see are working really well, again, for our customers that are using this today and getting the benefits right now. One is the individual payments, which is where we basically started, whether it's remittances or business payments, but your typical individual payments, fiat to fiat around the world, but using crypto as a bridge. And secondly, treasury, actually, right? So treasury flows have the same pain points. And a solution like this saves up massive operational efficiency, is not having to forecast, make sure your money is at the right place at the right time and hedging against it, et cetera, right? Solves a lot of headaches. So we have seen last year a big take-up of the solution in terms of corporate treasurers. So now we have not only licensed money institutions using this, but also increasingly more corporates in agriculture, in e-commerce, in tech, et cetera, and more we're adding every day. So really, I think the cross-border payments use case is a really well-proven and will continue to, we're, I think, still only at the early beginnings because it is hard and there's still things to be solved to make it better and faster and even more massive scale. But I think with blockchain, this ability to move value without a central counterparty in a better way is really the heart of the blockchain kind of ethos, right? And I think without really proving that and getting that to massive scale, I don't think a lot of the others cannot really take off.
Wonderfully put.
I don't agree that.
Now listen to this last little bit here.
I agree that I think regulatory challenge is overblown. It's one of the reasons why 90% of our business is outside of the U.S. versus U.S. today. But I completely agree that businesses should not sort of use it as an excuse to say, well, I'll wait for the regulation to come and then I'll figure out then, because they'll probably be way too late versus others who've already stepped in and reaping the benefits. I think what has worked well, I think, as you suggested, is look at the opportunities, talk to the right people, lawyers and the business opportunity, show the use case, and have that dialogue with the regulators that are willing to have that dialogue, to show the value, to show the benefits to whether it's to everyday people or businesses or wherever it is. And then that, I think, also leads to the right kind of regulation, which is about not stifling innovation, but really setting the right boundaries. And I have a very, very practical example around this because, again, that's what we do day in and day out at Ripple. We talk to a lot of central banks and governments. Brazil was one of the markets we opened up last year in terms of our on-demand liquidity. And that didn't just happen out of the blue. There was a lot of discussions with our customers and prospects and the central bank. And we've done that very proactively. And that's a really, really...
There's a lot. Did you hear that part? There's a lot of conversations that happen in that.
Customers and prospects and the central bank.
And the central bank, too. Come on in. Yeah, and she goes on to lay it down. But let me tell you something. All of this is taking place. Ripple is poised to serve the entire financial industry based on what they have been building and continue to build out for exactly what is unfolding right now. Now, let's just change gears very quickly here. From Eleanor Terrett, the SEC versus Ripple verdict could come at a pivotal time for the crypto industry. No truer words have been spoken. But here's John Deaton right here predicting an all-out win for Ripple where he's never really said that before. What's changing here? Take a listen.
I was shocked, Kathy, when I read the SEC. I was actually proven wrong. They proved me wrong about something in this case. Before the summary judgment motion was filed, I told the XRP world and the XRP community, stand by because I predict the XRP might have some evidence against Brad and Chris and Ripple that are not public yet. And it might be a couple bad days for Ripple, publicly, kind of optically. And when I read the summary judgment, there was nothing there. It was just that, hey, they talked about, how they want to promote the XRP ecosystem and how they want to get XRP increased in value and things like that, and how XRP is going to be successful in the future. Everything that a Bitcoin person says, everything that Ethereum person says, everything that Charles Hoskinson from Cardano says about their platform, nothing there that was unique. And as you know, there's no fraud in this case. There's not one allegation of fraud. So this is a pretty straightforward case. And I've become more and more, I try to stay, not too optimistic so I can give people more objective advice. But I just don't see how the SEC wins this case at this point. I really do. I'm going to go on a limb and predict a victory for Ripple and XRP holders.
Wow. I got to be honest, that's remarkable. Now, I'm not going to hold him to it, but he's feeling the same thing that I'm feeling and a lot of you are feeling, right? How is it that the SEC could come out of this thing with a win at all with what we know? And imagine the information that exists in the case that a judge has access to that we don't even know. It's hard to imagine, right? Well, speaking of hard to imagine, we've seen so many down days for so many years, literally. Is it hard for you to imagine, as it is for me, that we could see $1.40, Crypto Bull says, if the trend continues and history repeats, $1.40 by the end of March, just in a week or so? Or $4.60 possibly by the end of April, or $27 by the end of May? Listen, I know that it's not financial advice from him, me, or anyone else, and I don't know. But what I do know is that this case is about to have a ruling any day now. Hours, minutes, days, or weeks, we're going to be getting a ruling. And when we get that ruling, if John Deaton is correct, and we have an out-and-out win for XRP, woo-wee, I'll be excited to see exactly what it does. I can tell you that. And who knows? It could maybe outperform what we're looking at here. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.